and welcome back to Keeping Up in Disney. But today, I'm not going to be talking about Disney, I'm going to be talking a little bit about Kings Island. And I actually recently had the opportunity to go back to Kings Island, and I went with my friend again that I had recently gone to Cedar Point with too, so I wanted to kind of make a video just sharing a little bit about the day and the experience at Kings Island. And now after having gone to Cedar Point recently too, and then to Kings Island just about a month after, wanted to kind of do a comparison between the two as well, and also kind of throw in a comparison to what is my home Six Flags that I go to, which is Six Flags Great America, because that's the park that I kind of grew up with too. And of course, we are Disney people usually on this channel, and we love the Disney parks, but I do enjoy other theme parks too, so it's always fun to check out new ones. I had been to Kings Island once before, so I will put that video up above from the first time that I went back in 2023. So it had been 2 years between, and the last time I went, I actually didn't get on a couple things like the Racer and the Beast, so those were new credits for me this time when I went back. And I didn't really like vlog too much throughout the day, so that's why I kind of wanted to make this video to go along with the Kings Island experience. That way I can kind of almost like narrate over the day, and I'll throw some of the clips over there, and then leave in some of the parts where I was talking throughout the day, and then at the end I'll share some, final thoughts and just kind of go over the experience as a whole. So Kings Island opened at 11 a.m. the day that we went. We were driving from Chicago again, so it was about a 5-hour drive, maybe a little bit less, like 4.5. We got there actually right before opening at like 10:45. We timed it pretty well, so we would try to be there a little bit early, because when we went to Cedar Point, we had issues getting in with our all park passes from Six Flags that we have. So we were like, if we have a little bit of extra time, hopefully if it does take a minute to get in, we'll still be there right at opening. And of course, that is exactly what happened. So upon walking into, there was a bunch of Halloween stuff we could already see. So I remember saying like, oh, I think the gate looks really cool here.
It's kind of a cool entryway though.
And then we went over to guest services because we were gonna have to have them check our passes and everything too. And waiting at guest services for them to figure everything out, they could not find our passes, could not see that they were all parks passes. It took forever. So I showed in the video too, but we ended up getting our tickets into the park, and then for having to wait so long and just the inconvenience, we ended up getting one free fast lane pass, and then also a coupon for a free ice cream cone, which was really cool because we were both planning on getting the blue ice cream anyway, so that kind of worked out. After that, we finally got into the park at around 11:20, and just walking in and seeing the Eiffel Tower again and the entrance to Kings Island with all the fountains was amazing.
It looks so nice. It's so good to be back at Kings Island, and they have signs up for the haunt.
Kind of our plan for the day was to head over towards Flight of Fear first and try to get into that before the lines get too long, because I know that one has fairly low capacity and we didn't want to wait too long later in the day. We didn't do fast lane like we did when we went to Cedar Point. We were just going to try to make the most of the day in the regular queues. We did get the all-day dining though, similar to when we went to Cedar Point, and it's just, I don't know, if you're gonna eat like more than 2 meals, it's super worth it. And we definitely tried to get our value out of it and try a bunch of different things at Kings Island, so you'll see those throughout the video. But we started by heading over to Flight of Fear.
Yeah, like how this little area looks though.
There were some cool little haunt things around the park that we could see already. Kings Island definitely did a pretty good job of theming for their Halloween haunt event, and we were actually planning on staying for the haunted night and getting a wristband for some of the haunted attractions and checking some of them out, along with some of the coasters and rides. So more of that to come as well, but it was cool seeing it during the day, and then how it all transformed at night.
Blueberry wings sound crazy. I do like all the like scare stuff they have though. It's so cool.
But anyway, by the time we got over to near the Flight of Fear area, we both realized that we really had to go to the bathroom, and it was a long drive and we had never gone, and everything with guest services took so long we were trying to rush. And then near Flight of Fear in Orion, over in the Area 72 part, there was only like single restrooms, like ones with doors that close and open. There were 2 of them, and there was a line of like 5 or 6 people, so we were like, it's gonna take longer to wait than just go find the other closest bathroom. So we ended up walking really kind of far actually over to back by the Windseeker swings over in like the corner of the park, right past the drive-in place, and we entered into Area 72, and here's some of my commentary from right when we walked in talking about the theming.
Yeah, this area is like alien space exploration. This is Area 72.
And then we got to Flight of Fear, and it still wasn't a bad wait. It was only like 10 to 15 minutes. And actually walking into Flight of Fear, I had gone on this before the last time I went to Kings Island, but somehow I didn't remember all the queue theming. I did have fast lane the last time I went, but it looked like the fast lane still went through the area with the UFO and everything. But I was pretty shocked when I walked in, and the queue theming was actually really cool. It definitely gets some bonus points for that. And even like up till the point of when you get on the coaster right at the launch, there's like aliens in test tubes and different audio recordings going on. Flight of Fear was alright. It maybe makes it into my top 5 at Kings Island, but maybe not even. There might be others that pass it up. It reminds me a lot of Rock and Roller Coaster as a Disney person, of course, but the mid-course breaks kind of kill Flight of Fear. Otherwise, I mean, it's got a fun launch. It's kind of cool that it's indoors. I like the theming, even though the theming doesn't really carry out into the ride itself much after you get out of the station. It's fun. It's definitely worth a ride, but it's not like a coaster I would rush back for or go on a bunch of times. In fact, that was the only time we rode it in the day, and we did a lot of re-rides on other coasters.
Flight of Fear was pretty good. It's a little rough in there and the brakes kill it, but now it's time for Orion. And I do not have fast lane today.
But so after Flight of Fear, it was time for the big one, Orion, which is the Giga Coaster at Kings Island. And I had gone on Orion before, but I only went on it once, and I had always wanted to re-ride it to give it a try. We got in line, which was basically not a line. We pretty much walked on to Orion the first time that we rode. I enjoyed Orion at least as much as I remember, or possibly more. I do still think it could be a little bit longer. The end is kind of abrupt. It still has so much momentum, and I just wish they could have like made it a longer finish to the track and kept it going, because I felt like it had a lot more potential there, but still a great coaster. And right as we finished, we actually decided to just get right back in line and go again, because there was no line. So we were like, why not do a double ride right now?
Orion was awesome. We're gonna do a second ride because the line is like nothing.
And it was pretty good the second time. And then after that, we were deciding where to get food because it was close to noon and we were both kind of hungry after driving too. And we had the all-day dining passes, so as soon as you activate them, that's when it kind of kicks off, where every 90 minutes you can get another food. So we figured if we started earlier in the day and do it kind of sooner to when we get there, we'll have more intervals where we can potentially go get other food. So we decided to go to the Coney BBQ place, which was right by kind of Area 72 and then between the Racer and Banshee and a few other coasters, so it would kind of fit well into our plan for riding a couple things too.
Now we're gonna have Coney BBQ for lunch and to start our meal plan, but they do have blueberry wings here, which sounds so interesting for the haunt.
And barbecue sounded good, so this video that I was showing here too, I was mainly taking it just because of the rotisserie chickens. They were actually making the rotisserie chickens back there. They looked nice and fresh and pretty good. And then that was one of the, like, if you bought them individually, it was like a premium entree or meat for your platter. But surprisingly, that premium was actually included in the all-day dining too. So I got the pulled pork and my friend got the chicken to try it. He said it was really good, but here is my pulled pork that I got too. I got the pulled pork and mac and cheese, and it was pretty good. I think I did leave some comments about this one, so we can hear from me on that day, my review of the pulled pork.
It looks really good. So I'm gonna try the Coney BBQ. The pulled pork is actually really good. The classic sauce is like a sweet barbecue. They did also have Carolina and spicy. The mac and cheese is really like part of the star of the show though. It's so creamy and the little crumbles and crisps give it some texture. And they gave me so much pulled pork. Like I already put a lot on the sandwich. I've eaten like half of it. There's still just a huge pile of pulled pork here, but honestly really good overall.
But yeah, the pulled pork was huge. And then right after that, we decided we were super close to the racer. I actually had not been on that coaster yet.
Now we're gonna ride the racer. I think only the blue side is open.
Oh, and along the way, I saw some more haunt stuff too.
Look at the pretzels.
And I did see the sign that it was an Ace Landmark roller coaster, which is pretty cool. I know Whizzer at Six Flags Great America is one of those landmark roller coasters too, so it's always cool to ride another and see it and just kind of learn more about the history.
The line looks decently long.
And Racer was alright. I was glad that we went on it, but there were a couple like bumpy, rough spots, and overall it just wasn't like that thrilling or that fun. So it's a coaster that I'm glad that I went on, and when it is like racing and dueling, it's kind of cool. Not my favorite.
Racer was pretty good. There were like 2 spots that kind of hurt and rattled a lot, but now we're gonna go on Adventure Express, and I did do this one last time.
And then we walked around. This one area had really cool theming. I think I was talking about it a little bit here.
This area over here has good theming.
Then it was time for Adventure Express right after that. So we had some commentary in here about track 1 or track 2.
We're gonna go to the Cobra Caverns and the Amazon Falls. I think it might just be theming though, or maybe not, I don't know. Maybe track 2 is closed, it's confusing.
And I actually ended up Googling it while we were in line, and I don't think I put anything in here about what I found out. And so actually it's all like part of the story. Like you're on the coaster supposed to be going on track 1, but then something goes wrong and you end up going to the closed locations like the Forbidden Temple and all that.
It's got some good theming too.
It actually does have pretty cool story and theming to the coaster, but while riding it and after, we ended up saying that it would have been cooler if they leaned more into that, like had some onboard audio or like more signs throughout, or like some sort of like fake track where you were supposed to be going to track 1 and then you didn't. Just something that kind of would like tell it more, because if you're not really paying attention to the signs or the details, you probably wouldn't really know and just be kind of like what's going on. We were still kind of like that on the coaster, and we actually got stopped on the lift hill. And the lift hill for this coaster isn't at the beginning. You like go down first and go through some stuff and across quite a bit of track before you actually get to the lift hill, which then takes you to like the second half of the coaster almost. And then there's a lift hill at the end too, back to the station. But anyway, we got stopped on the first lift hill, and it was quite a while. We thought we were actually gonna get like evac'd and have to walk down the stairs, but they came and checked it out a couple times and then said it's gonna start moving, so we got going on Adventure Express. And we actually kind of wanted to ride that one again later in the day. We never got back around to it, but solid coaster. Good family ride for sure. And then we walked around for a little bit just looking at Banshee too, because it looked pretty cool, and checked out some of the food spots.
The iconic blue Kings Island ice cream is served here. Oh, Bride of Frankenstein waffle cone, that does sound crazy. Yeah, the classic blue ice cream here too. We're gonna get some later. And then we're coming to Banshee. Adventure Express was solid.
But we were right by Banshee, so we decided why not go for a ride on Banshee. I remembered Banshee being pretty good when I rode it. It's a B&M invert like Batman at Six Flags Great America and many other clones that are out there at other theme parks, but the one at Great America is the OG, so I've been on that one quite a few times, and I remembered liking Banshee better actually because it was a little taller, bigger, felt a little swoopier, not as tight, and not quite as intense as Batman. So I was excited to ride Banshee again. And I got some cool like off-ride footage of it while we were standing in line, so I'll make sure to add some of that in here too. Yeah, Banshee was good. Pretty much just as good as I remembered. Maybe I liked it even slightly better this time. I really wanted to go on a second ride on Banshee and do like a night ride, but we never got around to it. There were quite a few that we did do re-rides on and got night rides on, which was cool, but not Banshee. And then after that, we checked out some of the merch. They already had a lot of Halloween merch and stuff out. And then I did end up getting from one of these stores a Kings Island magnet. I always like to take home a couple souvenirs. So I'll actually show that magnet on our fridge in a little bit. And here is that Kings Island magnet on our fridge. I thought this one was pretty cool. And I have it kind of right near the other Diamondback one that I got when I went to Kings Island in 2023 as well. So
Got like the Kings Island ones down there, and we've got a lot of other fun magnets too, like this Seven Seas Lagoon Lost Bros magnet, the one we just got from the cruise, and we've got our save the date on there. 2020 Walt Disney World magnet, photo frame, and this mini. So we're just trying to fill up our fridge with fun Disney and theme park magnets, and just some other ones from places we've been before, adventures we've had, experiences, and yeah, we'll build up a nice little collection. And I'm actually wearing another souvenir that I got. It's this really cool Mystic Timbers Spirit jersey, and if you're a Disney person or have seen any of our Disney videos, I always get Disney Spirit jerseys, and I actually like to wear them a lot, so it was really cool finding a Kings Island Spirit jersey for Mystic Timbers, which also ended up being one of my favorite Kings Island coasters of the day. That and Diamondback were probably my top ones, but I was super excited when I found this and had to get it, and it's super comfortable, super cool. It says Kings Island and has the tree from Mystic Timbers there. On the back it says Mystic Timbers, and it's really cool actually. I don't know, I really like the Spirit jersey. And on the bottom it's got like a cool haunted tree design, so I really like this Spirit jersey. And yeah, it is actually like, it's hard to see, but it is like Spirit jersey brand or whatever, or type of shirt. I don't know if it's a brand, but they're like the exact ones that Disney has, and I'm super happy that I got it. I was able to take this and the magnet back, and I got a pin too. I got a Diamondback pin. After that, we just walked around the park for a little bit and just kind of took in some of the sights, saw where things were, looked at some more of the haunt stuff that was out during the day, like the decorations. And everywhere we walked, I remember just thinking, the Eiffel Tower looks so cool as the backdrop for all this stuff. Like, you can really just see it from almost everywhere, and it's always in the background, and yeah, it was just really cool. And sometimes you look up and see it and you're like, where am I? And I had to remember that I was at Kings Island and at a theme park, and yeah, their theming and just all the upkeep and everything there is so great. But then anyway, after those rides on Racer, Adventure Express, and Banshee, it was time for our food interval again, where we had surpassed the 90-minute mark. I think we were actually like almost 2 hours past it at this point, but we ended up getting Tom and Chee, because I remember I had first seen Tom and Chee on Shark Tank a long time ago, and then the last time I was at Kings Island, I had it and remembered it being really good. So we were like, oh, grilled cheese sounds good for a second meal, especially after barbecue is like a little bigger and more filling, so this would be something a little lighter. And I got a classic grilled cheese with some regular sea salt potato chips on the side, and my friend actually got, it was like a pizza grilled cheese, and he got the jalapeno chips, and mine was really good. It was just, that day actually happened to be really hot, even though this was the beginning of October, and I was still kind of full from the barbecue, so it was kind of like, I don't know, something about the grilled cheese was making it a little bit hard to eat. Like, I wasn't super in the mood for it that day, but it was a really good grilled cheese. And I tried a bite of the pizza one too, and that was really good as well. It tasted exactly as you would expect a pizza grilled cheese to taste. Really yummy though. And then after that, we just did some more walking around. We checked out the Snoopy Kids area and ended up making our way towards Diamondback, because I think that was the next coaster we wanted to ride. And we walked past, I remembered there was a store last time I had been at Kings Island outside of Diamondback that had all the cool coaster models and the pin and magnets and stuff too, so I wanted to check that out after we rode. Yeah, I remember this store had good things too. Like, this is where I got a lot of pins. So we got in line for Diamondback. I think it was only at like a 20-minute wait at that point, with maybe 15 or 20, which was not bad at all for regular queue. And it was kind of fun in the line actually, just watching the splashdown and watching Diamondback go out into the forest and come back, and got us really kind of hyped up. And we both love Raging Bull at Six Flags Great America. That's probably both of our favorite ride. Goliath is probably my number 2, but it's close sometimes, where Raging Bull just has like the nostalgia factor, and I've always loved it, and it's a fun hyper. I had loved Diamondback last time I rode, and would have even put it almost like on the same level as Raging Bull for me in terms of rankings, possibly slightly above it. So I was excited to try it again and to see what my friends' thoughts were too compared to Raging Bull. And yeah, it's just a fun coaster to watch. The splashdown is super cool, so I made sure to get some good videos of that. And I love how the trains
they're different than like the Raging Bull trains or most of the hypers, because they have like the 2 seats in the middle are in the front, and then there's 2 seats in the back that are spread out behind. So it's not like 4 across seating, it's like 2 and 2, but 2 in the middle are together, the 2 in the back are separate. So it's an interesting layout. And the front of the coaster train for Diamondback has a snake on it and looks awesome. So it gets some bonus points for that as well. But we both really love Diamondback. We agreed that we had to do more rides on it later in the day. And then we had a plan, and that plan was to go use our free ice cream coupons to get the blue ice cream while we went to Mystic Timbers and waited in line.
It's time to get blue ice cream.
Because I remember when we were in line for Diamondback, it was so hot and the sun was beating down, and I just remember saying I was like melting, and even though it wasn't that long of a wait, it was hot. So ice cream sounded perfect, and Mystic Timbers had like a 20-minute wait. What better thing to have while you're waiting in line than ice cream and amazing, iconic Kings Island blue ice cream. So we both got cones with those coupons, which was awesome that we had those, and then we took them and went over towards Mystic Timbers. And side note, I think I talk about it a little bit in the video, so I'll leave some of this in.
This looks so good. I'm gonna review what the flavor tastes like of the blue ice cream. Oh, it is so good. It's really hot today, and this is incredibly creamy and refreshing and like slightly fruity. Almost like a hint of blueberry, but still really creamy and sweet. Oh, it is hitting right now. The ice cream is melting so fast because it's so hot. And we're gonna go to Mystic Timbers.
The cone was amazing. It was exactly what I needed at that moment. It hit the spot. It was the perfect, refreshing, cooling treat for the day. And there's just something about the blue ice cream that, like, it's not that fruity, it's not that different than a vanilla cone, but it has this like light hint of blueberry, and it is just so good and very refreshing. So if you've never had the Kings Island blue ice cream and you go there, you definitely should try it if you like ice cream. Oh, I wish I had a cone right now. But yeah, we headed towards Mystic Timbers.
We're gonna wait in the line with our ice cream. And we don't know how long it is. 30 minutes, it says on the sign.
And I remember that this one had pretty cool theming too.
This is cool though. I like the theming already. It's got nice theming. I've almost finished this because it's so good. We're waiting for Mystic Timbers.
It even has the shed at the end where you can see different things, so I was excited to see that again.
Sketchy workshop place.
And we both really liked Mystic Timbers. We agreed that it was one that we for sure needed another ride on, and preferably a night ride, because the way the coaster track just like goes up and down and is so fast and smooth, we thought it would be crazy at night, just for like the experience of doing it in the dark and not really being able to see where you're going. And then we decided it was time for our next food stop. So we went to this place. It was like the Brewhouse restaurant right between Diamondback and Mystic Timbers, and we saw that they had some hot dogs, some burgers, some other things on the menu. So we figured this would be a good option, because after eating the barbecue and the grilled cheese, we were both still like, I mean, kinda hungry, but not like super starving for like a gigantic meal. So I was like, oh, a hot dog sounds good. And it was called the Big Dog or something, but it didn't say anything about it like being a foot long. So let me tell you, when this hot dog came out to the table, and it was a giant foot-long hot dog with like a very thick bready bun and just so many tater tots loaded with beer cheese, I was like, oh, that hot dog looks good, but it is just so big right now.
I am shocked. Nothing said this would be a foot long, and it's just beer cheese on there. That is a huge hot dog. Oh my goodness.
Was still excited for it, and I did eat a fair amount of the hot dog, but it was just another big meal. And with these dining plans, we kept saying like every 90 minutes, that's quite a bit. So most of the times ours were more like 2-hour intervals, but I don't know how someone could eat a meal most of the size of these every 90 minutes. Like, they are meals that are big enough for 2 people. So we said this about Cedar Point too. If you were going with someone else and you didn't mind kind of like spacing out meals in the day, a little bit, you could easily have one person get the all-day dining and then get their meal, share the meal, and then just do that for each of them and split them and make like 2 meals out of everyone that you could get. So in every 90 minutes, that would easily be enough food for the day. Definitely something to consider, but it was fun for both of us to try our own options each time and just really kind of go hard on the food throughout the day. And then we walked around a little bit more as we made our way back toward the Beast. And I actually had not been on the Beast, and right at this time it was saying that it was a 45-minute wait, and we wanted to make sure that we could pack in as much as we could before the haunt stuff started, which I think kicked off at 6 o'clock when you can activate your wristbands and start doing the houses. So we decided to use our one-time fast lane passes for this round of the Beast, because skipping a 45-minute wait, that was the longest one we would have ended up having to wait in all day, and actually that ended up being the longest wait even throughout the rest of the night. We didn't wait in anything longer than that, so this was a good use of the fast lane for when we did it.
See the Beast footprints, look, you gotta follow the footprints. I think now after Mystic Timbers, when that place for a gigantic hot dog that was way too large, we're gonna do the Beast. I kinda like the music too though. And the Beast selfie station. And we're gonna use the one-time fast lane for the Beast, because right now it has a 45 minutes, so that's longer than we wanna wait. And we're trying to get ready for riding Backlot Stunt Coaster and the Bat before hopefully getting our next meal time. But I actually did not ride this one the last time I was at Kings Island, so I'm excited to try it for my first time now.
We both were really excited for the Beast, and I had never been on it, so first time on the longest wooden coaster, and later you'll see it when we went on it for a second time night ride. But there are so many cool like facts in the regular queue about the Beast that just add to its like legacy and the fun of riding it. But so we headed back, we got ready to ride the Beast and boarded, and let me tell you, the Beast is pretty crazy. I enjoyed it a lot, especially like I'm definitely more of a usually like a steel coaster person. I like launch coasters a lot, or like hybrids, like I love RMCs. Typically, like I've really enjoyed some woodens. I like Viper at Great America just because it's classic. I really love Thunderheaded Dollywood. There's been a few other standout woodens for me too. Oh, and Mystic Timbers obviously, but they're typically not my favorite, and I'd heard the Beast was a little bit rough, so I went in with kind of like medium expectations. I was like, I know it's gonna be pretty good, but I don't know how good. And it actually surprised me a lot. The first half was so much smoother than I thought after the first lift hill up until the second lift hill, and it's so cool going through the forest and just seeing everything. A really fun wooden coaster that's got some great moments. And then once you get to the second lift hill and start going down that slow descent, like just because it's not as steep of a hill or a big drop does not mean it's not gonna get fast and crazy. And that double helix absolutely blew me away, kind of in a good way, kind of in a bad way. The train started like rattling so hard. There was so much speed and so many forces on those turns, and not in like a scary way either. It was fun, but kind of like a little intense and crazy going around those helixes. The train felt like it could have flown off the tracks at any second, and it was just such an interesting way to finish after the second lift hill, like just doing a giant double helix and then roaring back to the station. I don't know, it was a really good coaster. It probably ranked in maybe my top 3 for the day. I don't know. I'll go over my rankings later, but it was definitely top 5 at Kings Island, possibly top 3.
The Beast was pretty cool. The Boo Blasters is closed, but it's gonna be a Phantom Theater opening Nightmares in 2026. I liked this when I was here, but hopefully the show is better.
And then after that, we just walked around a little bit more, checked out some more of the park, went back by the front as it was approaching time that the haunt was gonna start. And then we actually ran back out to the car quick too, just because we had water bottles and cans of soda in the car, and all the water cups they were giving us were tiny, and then it was hard to get refills because you had to walk back in the front of the restaurant and everything. So we just wanted to chug some water, and also we had, yeah, soda in the car, and we didn't have the drinks with our dining plan for the day. And then walking back in, it was almost haunt time.
So we're heading back in, and they are checking IDs now for a chaperone policy. So yeah, it's a chaperone policy. You have to show ID, and there's no re-entry after 6. So it's like 5:15 right now. We quick ran back to the car to get some soda, drink some water bottles that we had, because the cups of water they give you are really small, and to just cool down in the AC.
We were kind of heading towards Backlot Stunt Coaster too, to try to knock that out before all of the haunt stuff started as well, but also kind of just enjoying the ambiance and the scenery and the theming of the park on the way. And there was this really cool area of Kings Island that's like a garden that has a bunch of facts about Kings Island and just some of the history, so I made sure to get some videos of that too.
540-degree helix finale is crazy. Scooby-Doo roller coaster becomes the Beast's little brother when it is renamed the Beastie? What? I'm so confused.
And it's not Backlot Stunt Coaster now, it's actually called Queen City Stunt Coaster. I don't know when the name changed. The last time I went to Kings Island 2 years ago, it was Backlot Stunt Coaster, now it was Queen City Stunt Coaster. So we went towards Queen City Stunt Coaster.
This is some cool Halloween theming. And then we're heading to the Backlot Stunt Coaster.
I remember this one being like, okay, but nothing crazy. I remember the first helix up the parking garage being fairly intense, but the rest of the ride being like, okay. I thought it was cool with like some of the pyrotechnics and the show scenes throughout and some of the theming, but nothing spectacular, and it was pretty much the exact same this time. Did not rank in my top 5 for the day either, and none of the like show scenes or pyrotechnics or anything were actually working, so it was overall like, it was still fun, but it was not a great coaster. I mean, I would give it like a 5 out of 10 probably. And then we walked around looking at some of the theming and scenery again, especially too, like we started seeing more stuff for the haunt. We were getting kind of excited.
Halloween haunt will begin. Be advised, at that time, monsters will ascend onto the streets. The lighting and audio
15 minutes, the haunt begins.
And fog, fire, and extremely loud pyrotechnics will be used.
We were kind of heading towards the bat because we thought we were going to ride it, and I had gone on the bat before, and I told my friend, I was like, it's alright, like if you really want to do it, just to ride the bat, we can, and if the wait's not long, we can check it out. And we had gone on Iron Dragon at Cedar Point, which is like the same style of coaster, so I told him it was kind of similar to that.
Backlot Stunt Coaster was solid. Now we're gonna go to the bat.
But the queue for the bat is so long to walk back through, so I show some of that and talk about it in here.
Comes the bat. And I remember the queue line for this one is so long. You can kind of see one of the houses. 5 hours later, we're still not at the ride. The walk is so long. It is crazy just for the bat. Just kidding, we're not doing the bat because the line was moving so slow. And we figured we're gonna get our meal so we can speed up our time to the next one and get another sooner. And I've already been on this and my friend didn't really care.
The line ended up being so much longer than 15 minutes, and we were like, it's not worth our time to wait for that. Like, let's go get some food or ride something else, or just get ready for when it's about to be 6 o'clock and the haunt stuff starts.
So instead of the bat, we're getting Panda Express for our meal. Halloween is starting.
So we headed into the Festhaus, which I remembered was kind of like a food court, and I knew the Panda Express was in there and pizza and a couple other things. But what we did not expect was to walk in and find this crazy show going on for the haunt.
It's very busy in here and there's a show going on. It's Ghouls Gone Wild. They have some great entertainment and stuff though.
And then we were both both really in the mood for Panda Express, some orange chicken, which I know like there are other more interesting actual Kings Island options that you can't get outside the park, and other things we could have tried, but I don't know, one solid staple, something that we knew was going to be delicious and filling. Panda Express sounded good, and they had actually just brought out a nice fresh hot tray of orange chicken, so it was so crispy and delicious, and it really hit the spot.
Meal number 4. So far it's been the barbecue, the grilled cheese, the hot dog, and now Panda Express. This wonderful Ghouls Gone Wild.
And we got to watch the fun performance while we ate our Panda Express, so I'll make sure to put some of that in here for you now. And then after that, we decided why not go check out one of the houses. We wanted to start using our wristbands. We went and activated them. We went and got them from one of the stores.
So some of the fog is going on, and they've got the music and lights. And we did do the haunted attraction pass, so we have the meal plan and this. We're gonna go to the Kill Mart. That's the first one.
We had seen a couple that we thought looked kind of cool before and looked on the app to see what all the houses were, and we decided to go to the Kill Mart one. And we were wondering how the lines for these were gonna be. They didn't seem to be too bad. This was right when it was kicking off, so we thought maybe they'd get a little bit longer in the night, but actually we didn't end up waiting in any long lines for the houses, and we went to 4 out of the 6, I think, so you'll see more of which ones we went to and where we went. But
we were going to the first one, the Kill Mart, and we just have the normal one, not the express. So we figure even if we do like 2 houses, it was $10, so we're just gonna kind of intermingle it with coasters, a couple haunted houses, maybe do 2 or 3 of them, get some spooky in, go on a couple rides, get more of our food, and then we're probably gonna leave around like 9 just so we don't get back super late, because it is a 5-hour almost drive back to near Chicago.
We walked up to this one, and I guess there were announcements or recordings or something posted somewhere saying no recording, but I really truly did not see that at first and didn't know. So I had recorded when we first walked into one of the houses, and then someone told me no recording, so I stopped and didn't record any other houses from there. So that's all I'll share too, because yeah, I wanted to of course abide by their policy, but this one was pretty much just themed to like a department grocery store with different sections that you would see, like beauty care, the household stuff, food, clothing, and it was pretty cool. We've done Fright Fest in the houses at Six Flags Great America quite a few times, so we kind of had our expectations set about the same, and I would say these were close to the same level, but maybe slightly better. Like they had more scare actors, the theming was a little better done, not quite on the quality level of like a full dedicated haunted house experience that you would go to and pay for like an individual ticket to, which we didn't really expect that. It was still pretty fun. They were fairly short walkthroughs too, like each one took about 5 minutes or less, so it wasn't like a crazy huge long experience. But yeah, after that we figured why not try another to kind of compare it, so we went back to the other corner of the park.
Next was Hotel Saint Michel.
Kind of almost by the Windseeker ride where we had gone to the bathroom earlier this morning before our first coaster. This one was actually back out in this kind of interesting building. Like I don't know what they do with that area or what it's for, maybe storage or something.
This one's got more space back here in this like theater. Weird building back there. I wonder what this is for. So hopefully it's good.
I don't know, it seems like Kings Island does have a lot of space they could still kind of like develop or build new rides or coasters on, so I'm excited to see where this park goes in the future. I know a lot of the theme parks were sending out surveys recently for what new rides should come to the parks and some potential ideas and options. I didn't get the Kings Island survey, but I actually did get the Cedar Point survey, so that was interesting to see like the suspended thrill glider and the family coaster and other options they had on there. And I did see, you know, in Facebook groups and videos online what the options were for Kings Island, and I think if they got any of those options and kept expanding their lineup, it would be so cool. And yeah, it seems like they've got a little bit of space to do it, so I really hope they continue to add to it because they've already got a solid lineup. And so obviously this house was hotel themed, very similar to the Kill Mart one in that it was just different sections. Like going through a hotel, you started out in like the boiler room, you went into like the kitchen, some of the guest rooms, the lobby. All the actors were very in character. They had great outfits that matched. Like, they definitely, you know, put a lot of thought and theming and care into the haunt experience. You could tell, and it was very appreciated for, you know, not being on the level of some huge haunted houses. It was pretty well done. I think the haunted attraction pass was only $10 extra on top of the ticket for the one where you had to wait in line. It's not like a skip the line or premium or anything. Or there was a special one that included a pass into, there was a Conjuring house, which I guess was like the best one, and may have been like a really well done haunted house, because that line was long all night, but we didn't do that one. It was only $10 extra, and for the 6 houses to do them, if you know, want to, it's kind of fun just to add on along with some rides and coasters and other things. But the hotel one was very similar, pretty decent.
The sunset with Diamondback looks so cool.
We made our way towards Diamondback because that was another one that we decided we definitely wanted to ride and maybe kind of do a night ride on. It was starting to get dark. It wasn't quite dark yet, so it was almost going to be like a sunset ride on Diamondback, which ended up being really cool. Riding it at the sunset was probably even better than earlier in the day. It was great both times, and we both really enjoyed Diamondback. That or Mystic Timbers were probably my favorite coaster from the day overall, and then third is either Orion or the Beast. And after Diamondback, it was starting to actually get a little bit dark, so we headed over to Mystic Timbers, which is right next to Diamondback, so it wasn't a far walk.
This is looking kind of spooky now. The sunset ride on Diamondback was elite. It was awesome.
There were some cool, like, little haunt spooky areas on the way that we checked out, just kind of going towards Mystic Timbers, which again is not far from Diamondback. They're very close to each other.
And it's saying Mystic Timbers is a 20-minute wait, so we're hoping that's true. So we're gonna quick do this again for like a dark night ride, and then probably get one more meal, do another ride, shop maybe, get some stuff, and then get our last meal as we head out. We're gonna try to leave by like 9:30 at latest, because we have that drive back. Now it's dark and a little spooky, so the night ride on Mystic Timbers is gonna be amazing.
But the night ride on Mystic Timbers was amazing. You couldn't tell where you were going, and the coaster is just so smooth. It has such good air time, such a cool, different layout. It was great, so definitely glad that we did that second ride on Mystic Timbers, and the night ride would highly recommend.
Mystic Timbers at night was an experience, and this funnel cake place also has beignets, and it sounds so good. I like how they turned all the lights like green and pink and purple too. Looks spooky. Orion looks so cool too on the lift hill. And the tower with the red eyes. We're gonna get pizza.
And then we wanted to do another ride on the Beast, so we were gonna kind of stay back in that area, like back past Mystic Timbers towards the back of the park where the Beast is, but it was also time for more food after the Panda Express. So far in the day, we had the barbecue place, the grilled cheese place, the place that we got the foot-long hot dog from, the Panda Express, and then now we were getting pizza for our 5th meal.
We stopped at the La Rosa's Pizza over by the Beast and behind the Diamondback splashdown.
And it was just kind of close to the area back by the Beast, and we hadn't had pizza yet and thought it sounded kind of good, so that just worked out, and it was decent. I actually, for some reason, I feel like they're probably the same pizza, but I thought the Cedar Point pizza was better. I remembered it being slightly better. This was fine. It kind of hit the spot, but I don't know, the breadsticks here didn't seem as good either. The ones at Cedar Point weren't like great either, but I thought they were slightly better. And then after eating, we went back to the Beast, and this actually probably ended up being the longest line we waited in.
It's time for a night ride on the Beast. I've heard night rides on this are amazing too. It says it's 45, so we're gonna see.
And it was only about maybe like 30 to 40 minutes, which wasn't bad, and we were kind of expecting it and kind of ready for it. So this was too where I was talking about they had the really cool signs in the queue that were facts about the Beast and just some cool information. So it was fun to read through those while waiting in the queue actually, and made the time pass by. And then we were super excited for a night ride on the Beast, and it was crazy. Like if the Beast during the day was already pretty crazy, at night it was just as good. if not way better, and you really couldn't see where you were flying through the trees, and the double helix in the dark was just kind of nuts. If you go to Kings Island, definitely do night rides on Mystic Timbers and the Beast. Don't miss out on those. We didn't get to do night rides on every coaster, so I can't say they're like the best for sure, but oh, they were amazing, and both like go into the woods and have really cool settings. I would definitely recommend. We could see the blue light of the lift hill from across like the whole park, and it looked cool.
We're gonna do one more haunted house by Orion and then maybe hit Orion before we grab our last food, check the gift shop, and head out.
We really wanted to go on another ride on Orion and a night ride. We thought it would be cool doing a Giga at night, having the huge drop just kind of into the darkness.
Orion at night should be fun. It does look kind of ominous.
We ended up waiting maybe 15 minutes tops. I would say it was 10 to 15 minutes for Orion, but that actually allowed us to see a different part of the queue that we hadn't seen before that kind of added to the theming, so that was kind of cool.
That looks so cool.
Orion was great, and the lift hill at night does just look so cool ascending into the sky with the lighting package, but then the actual like coaster and the track throughout is dark, so it just, yeah, it really like stands out with the lift hill shining in the sky. And then after that, we were kind of getting ready to head out. We had done a couple more of the houses. I thought I showed more of them, but I guess I didn't. We also did do the one in Area 72 that was an alien themed one, and we did one that was back by the Beast, that was like a slaughterhouse.
So the last one we're gonna do is Alien Abyss, and all the lighting and everything does just look so cool. Racer's got lights, Orion. Yeah, the lighting back here is really cool. Orion with the full moon looks crazy. Now we're gonna try this. This one had a little pre-show thing that was kind of fun, made it a little more interesting, but about the same otherwise.
And that one was decent too. I would say overall, I think we said our favorite was probably the Mart, maybe the hotel, and those were the first two that we did. Slaughterhouse was fine. The alien one at the end actually had a really good scare actor before the show who kind of did like the pre-show, and this was the only one that had a pre-show or, you know, more theming to it than just going into the actual house. And it made it really interesting, and she did a great job, but then the actual house itself was maybe not as good as the Mart or the hotel one, so I don't know. It had a great pre-show, and then it, you know, like really built it up, and then it was, you know, pretty much the same as the others.
This looks really cool. Still the lighting and fog. Oh, I didn't even see the lights on the trees too. It's a cool touch. We're gonna go grab our last food from the Chicken Shack, which should still be open, and I think we're done with rides, so we're gonna do maybe a little shopping and then head out.
As we got ready to leave the park, we decided to grab one more meal to take with us because it was time that we could have gone with the dining plan, and I actually was planning on bringing home some chicken tenders and fries for my wife Jamie, who really loves theme park chicken tenders and fries. And I always try to bring them back for her, like anytime I visit Six Flags Great America and she's not there, I'll bring some back. Or I did the same thing at Cedar Point too, where I brought back chicken tenders and fries, and this one actually came with a nice piece of Texas toast too, so that was cool. And then we started walking towards the exit of the park and just taking in our last sights of Kings Island.
Oh, this is really cool too. They don't like dye the water, but they turn everything red, like the lights on the fountains. We're right by the entrance, the quick hit the gift shop and then head out.
Oh, and then this is where I actually did some merch shopping and found the Mystic Timbers Spirit jersey.
This Mystic Timbers Spirit jersey is awesome. I think I'm gonna get it.
As well as a couple other cool Spirit jerseys.
They actually have a lot of other like actual Spirit jerseys. Like look at this one that has the blue ice cream on the side.
Had a blue ice cream squishmallow, which was really cool.
And just so many cool, like a photographic journey. The blue ice cream little mug, they have a blue ice cream towel that says Kings Island and a squishmallow. It's awesome.
I thought that was awesome. There was some other blue ice cream merch too, which I thought was fun. And I was also looking for a pin, and I did end up getting, it was like a Diamondback pin, but they didn't have a great pin selection this time. And the Diamondback pin I ended up getting says like, I rode Diamondback in 2023, which it's kind of weird that they still have those pins out 2 years later, but I was like, I did ride Diamondback in 2023 the first time I came here, so I got that pin. I don't know. I just wanted to get a pin, and I had gotten the magnet and the spirit jersey and the pin. But then as we walked out, we looked at the fountain show a little bit, which was really cool and going along with some music, and then we got heading out of Kings Island.
Fountain show's going crazy now. And with that, goodbye Kings Island. It was really fun, great day, fun haunt, super fun day, super fun night.
So it was a great day at Kings Island. Overall, it doesn't have quite the level of thrills or as grand and filled out of a coaster lineup as Cedar Point, but it probably has a slightly better lineup than our Six Flags Great America, just because they do have some other big heavy hitters like the Beast and Orion for having a Giga and Mystic Timbers for a really cool wooden, where like we've got Raging Bull, we've got Batman, we've got Superman, we do have some other fun coasters like Whizzer, Viper, maybe Demon, depending how you look at it, and just a couple other coasters in our lineup too that are different, like V2, Vertical Velocity, well, the Flash now. But Kings Island does have a pretty great lineup too, with a lot of variety in their coasters. It is interesting though that they have like two B&M hyper models, one being over 200 feet and the other being over 300 feet at a Giga. Overall, Kings Island though probably has better like vibes than both Cedar Point or Great America. I don't know, I think Great America has some pretty cool history to it too, and I do like how it has the different themed areas to like parts of America, even though they have kind of fallen apart over the years. Like the New Orleans place has basically nothing to do with New Orleans anymore. The Southwest Territory is one of the only ones that I think still kind of has a cohesive theme. Nothing else really does. Like they threw in DC Universe. And anyway, Kings Island has some pretty nice theming. It has a nice layout too. It's really cool with the Eiffel Tower. It's really well kept. It has never seemed like too crazy when I've gone, even when it feels busy. Like the lines for rides never seem super long, just because they've got great ops too. There's a lot of coasters to ride. There's a good variety. So it's overall like just usually like a very pleasant park to go to, and has one of the better coaster lineups of parks. Well, maybe not being the absolute best, but it's got a lot to offer and can, you know, stand up and compete with some of the parks that do have like insane coaster lineups, like Magic Mountain and Cedar Point are two that come to mind as probably having like overall better lineups. Really, really great park overall. They did have a lot of good food options. Like you could find pretty much anything you were looking for. I like that they had like some interesting things like Tom and Chee for a grilled cheese spot, really good classic barbecue spot, typical like drive-in diner theme park food and burgers and hot dogs, but then also like Panda Express and a couple other fun options, and of course the blue ice cream. If you've never been to kings Island, I would definitely recommend checking it out, especially if you like theme parks, you like roller coasters. I know it is like a destination spot for a lot of people, and it is only like 4.5 hours from us in Chicago, so I was glad I went back for a second time. Although doing all the driving again there in a day and back was a lot again, which it was with Cedar Point too, but well worth it to have a really good experience and a great time. And if you go there, you've got to try the blue ice cream. It just, oh, it absolutely hit throughout the day and it was so delicious. Top coaster rankings for the day, I probably said it in the video a little bit earlier, kind of alluded to what my rankings were, but yeah, number 1 might be Diamondback. Number 2, probably Mystic Timbers. Those two could be interchanged though, really. Number 3 was probably Orion. Number 4, the Beast, but those two are also close. And at the number 5 spot, I'd probably put Banshee. So I guess that means that Flight of Fear does not make my top 5. Yeah, Flight of Fear is down there a little bit. Queen City Stunt Coaster wouldn't make the top 5 either. Adventure Express actually was probably like my number 6 or number 7 maybe. Like Flight of Fear and Adventure Express were probably pretty close on that list, but I don't know. Overall, just a really good lineup, a lot of fun different coasters to try. Yeah, not quite as crazy as the Cedar Point coasters, like trying Siren's Curse, Steel Vengeance, Maverick, Top Thrill 2, all in a day. A great experience nonetheless. I had a really great time going back to Kings Island for my second visit ever, and it was a really fun park to check out. It's got some great history too. Sounds like hopefully they're going to continue expanding and building their lineup, which is going to be really cool to see how it kind of evolves and comes along. So I would definitely like to go back in the future, and yeah, if you've never been, maybe think about planning a visit to Kings Island. It's right near the Cincinnati area in Ohio, and if you did enjoy getting to see this video in my experience going to Kings Island, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel to catch more of our usual Disney content that we post, and also other fun theme parks and adventures that we may have coming up. And if you have any questions too about Kings Island or Cedar Point or Disney or whatever, if you've been to Kings Island, let me know how your experience was too, and drop it down below in the comments. And as always, thanks for keeping up in Disney or Kings Island this time, and we will see you real soon. Bye.